All right, y'all, day one. Y'all, we talked about it. Excited about the opportunities, right? Excited about the opportunity we have. Starts right now. The devil's in the details. Everything we do. Detail-oriented, purposeful, intentional, high level of communication.
Caitlin Clark walked into the Gainbridge Fieldhouse practice facility this morning as cameras flashed relentlessly and executives watched closely from above. The entire basketball world seemed to pause as she entered, sat at her locker, laced up her sneakers, and stepped onto the court without saying a word to the media. She didn't need to speak. Her presence alone sent a clear message about who she is and where the power truly lies. As day one of the Indiana Fever's training camp wrapped up, reports coming out of Indianapolis weren't just positive. They were striking, even intimidating for the rest of the league. What actually unfolded on the court was far different from a narrative circulating online. When the players took the floor, Clark ran the offense, completely and confidently. She controlled the ball, pushed the tempo at high speed, and delivered precise passes that caught defenders off guard. Her court vision was sharp, her decision-making quick, and her shooting fearless, even from deep range. After 8 months away from competitive play, she showed no signs of rust or hesitation. Instead, she looked composed, aggressive, and fully in control. Throughout the entire session, Clark played with intensity and confidence, showing no indication of being limited or cautious after her injury. She didn't appear like someone easing back into the game. She looked like a player ready to dominate. From start to finish, her performance challenged the doubts, silenced speculation, and made one thing clear. The narrative surrounding her had shifted completely.
This year's draft. Now we're going to jump right into this thing, man. One picture has sent the internet in uproar, bro. That is seeing Caitlin Clark back in the gym. This is the photo from Tony East that had surfaced online. So as you guys can see here, Caitlin Clark is in the gymnasium, the Fever practice facility, and she's ready to go, man. Today is the first day of training camp for the Indiana Fever. Now, what we could expect is a lot of clips. Hopefully we get some clips from Caitlin Clark and the team, kind of seeing them gelling, seeing them getting stuff.
No one in the mainstream media is really addressing how far off the earlier narratives were about the on-court situation. For an entire week, the loudest voices pushed the idea that the Indiana Fever front office was deliberately sabotaging Caitlin Clark, that drafting a defensive guard like Raven Johnson was part of some calculated plan to undermine her, and that head coach Stephanie White intended to move Clark off the ball and reduce her role to a spot-up shooter. Some even framed it as a full organizational conspiracy driven by ego and control. But when training camp actually began, that narrative didn't match reality. Clark clearly ran the offense, the team operated at a high level, and Johnson simply played her role, defending hard, competing, and learning as a rookie should. She wasn't replacing Clark or orchestrating the offense. She was contributing as a defensive specialist, exactly what the team needed. That said, the concerns from fans over the past week didn't come out of nowhere. The Fever's public messaging leading into camp created confusion and tension. Comments from Stephanie White about Clark playing both on and off the ball felt clumsy and raised tactical concerns. President Kelly Kroskoff's remarks about a generational talent needing to adapt to a system came off as tone-deaf, while Lynn Dunn's criticism of fans alienated supporters. Amber Cox's description of Johnson as a combo guard added to the uncertainty. All of this communication mismanagement fueled frustration and speculation, even sparking backlash from the fan base. However, there's a clear difference between awkward or misguided messaging and what actually happens on the court. Day one of training camp made that distinction obvious. Whatever was said publicly, the reality in practice was simple. Caitlin Clark was in control of the offense.
Just a short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach. What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now here with the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but like she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, like her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. Like she understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful, but also like she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you, and that's something I'm really grateful for. But also like she's just been a good sounding board for my.
Listening closely to Caitlin Clark's words reveals far more than a routine compliment. When she said her coach knows what she is doing and understands how to put players in positions to succeed, it carried a deeper implication. In a league where roles and systems are constantly scrutinized, that statement sounded like a clear expectation. Put players where they are most effective. And for Clark, that effectiveness is obvious. She thrived with the ball in her hands, controlling tempo, creating plays, and leading the offense. If she were pushed into an off-ball role to accommodate others, it would contradict the very strength she just highlighted. In that sense, her comment functioned as a subtle but powerful message about how the team should operate. And on day one of camp, that expectation was met as she led the offense at AT the same time. Raven Johnson's presence told a very different story than the one circulating online. Rather than disrupting anything, she looked comfortable and composed, competing hard and embracing her role. There was no visible tension or conflict. She and Clark shared the court, worked through drills, communicated, and competed like professionals. The idea that they couldn't coexist simply didn't hold up. As Aaliyah Boston pointed out previously, much of the perceived drama exists more in media and fan discussions than among the players themselves. Both Clark and Johnson approached the session with focus and a shared goal of winning, showing that a strong defensive guard and an elite offensive playmaker can complement each other effectively. Clark's individual performance also stood out, especially considering what she had been through physically. After months of dealing with injuries and rebuilding her conditioning, she returned looking sharp, confident, and efficient. Her recent international performances had already hinted at that form, and it carried over into training camp. She played with control, precision, and confidence, showing no lingering effects of her setbacks. Altogether, her presence and performance reinforce the same message. She remains a central force on the court, and when placed in the right role, her impact is difficult for any defense to handle.
Baby girl, I'm finna rock.
Darts, bruh. Nothing but darts. Yeah, man. So today's the day. So we should be getting a lot of content today, a lot of news today. I know the Indiana Fever admins is going to work some things out to keep us informed with everything.
The physical explosiveness was impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark's first step, which had been limited by injuries last season, looked sharp and quick again. Her shooting form appeared smooth and consistent from well beyond the three-point line, while her passing remained precise, using vision and timing to break through defenses. Just as noticeable was her intensity. Every repetition carried purpose, signaling that she intended to stay fully in control of her role and impact. Around her, the roster looks deeper and more complete than before. Kelsey Mitchell brings elite scoring ability. Aaliyah Boston anchors a paint and strengthens a pick and roll, and players like Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham add shooting and toughness on the perimeter. The addition of Raven Johnson enhances defensive pressure, while veterans like Natasha Cloud and others provide stability, giving the team a more balanced and versatile lineup overall taken together. This isn't just a collection of talent. It's a well-structured roster with the tools to compete at a high level. The team now has shooting to punish defensive attention on Clark, interior strength to handle mismatches, and defensive grit to close out tough games. Still, one practice doesn't answer every question. The real test will come in preseason and regular season games, where rotations, minutes, and strategies will reveal how the coaching staff plans to use this group under pressure. But the first day offered reassurance. The biggest concern, whether Clark would remain the primary engine of the team, was answered clearly through her performance on the court. Looking ahead, expectations are building. With preseason approaching and the regular season close behind, there's a growing sense that this Indiana Fever team could exceed expectations. If Clark stays healthy, motivated, and surrounded by capable teammates, her impact could elevate the entire team. The recent off-court noise may have dominated headlines, but what ultimately matters is performance. And based on this early glimpse, the focus is shifting back to basketball.